Hey, how you doing?
Hello, hi. Can you hear us?
Yep, perfect.
Perfect. Hi.
Hi, how are you doing? Well, first, I loved your film. I thought it was, it was like I couldn't believe how much you fit in, and like it was a feature length film with all
It's
of
a
the
lot. It's a lot.
storytelling, and it just flowed so I thought so beautifully. So, was what was it like working with those kids? They were so integral to the film. Were they people you knew, or?
Yeah, I mean, so first and foremost, thank you for the beautiful words. Uh, indeed, we wanted to. I mean, our dream is to do features, So, you know, um, but yeah, with your masters, it's better to do a short film. So we did a short film,
Mhm.
and the kids. We knew because my nephew knew the headmaster of his school, so we did like a free audition in the school. It's not an acting school. It's just a normal primary school.
Uh-huh.
And so we wrote the script for two boys actually,
Oh,
but we did an open script. Yeah, and we did an open audition for everybody, and then but we had like characteristics that were important to us, like being like very energetic, being able to play football, maybe rap a little bit. And there was this girl that came in, Matilda, and
uh-huh.
she was like perfect. She fitted all the characteristics, and she became the character that was based upon on me. So yeah. So basically, Lee, we had the idea like back in 2015,
Mhm.
and I pitched it to my creative partner,
Mhm.
writer, also and producer.
But we gotta it's like 35. Oh no,
It's
wait,
hot.
it's
It's
really
super
hot.
hot here.
So we're sweating.
But yeah.
So we're just wow.
Like she saw me in the car, like we've been trying to get this going, it's not working out. Like she probably thinks this guy, what? It's like the chicken in the film.
That was really interesting how it did start out with the chicken in the film. Like what was your thinking when you started that? Because then there was that big transition.
Yeah. So if you we my first film, Kweku, we wrote it also together. It ends with a boy going to catch a chicken. And
Oh,
I have this fascination for chickens. I love them. I think they act. People think they're stupid, but they're not, because they're pretty hard to catch. Like so. And we even lost the chicken for like 2 hours. So and before being able to reshoot again, but no. So these were like little things that, like, for example, the kid coming back home and almost getting slapped. Like this, like, things that I vividly remember and had been through it. And also, like, also with Chingiz, his childhood and stuff. We ended up in places where as kids, you don't know how dangerous it is, because you're
right.
like naive. And we just wanted to play with like a tension of like the film, where through the view of the kids is very innocent,
Right.
but us as viewers, we are constantly like on the tip of our seats, hoping nothing bad happens, and nothing bad happens, but it could have,
It could have,
so
yeah. And I
so
thought
that,
that was so interesting, like building that tension, because like when they got in the car with the guy, you're like, oh, like
yeah,
this shouldn't, but then you see him take, then they're in the ocean. And that sort of reminded me of the scene in Moonlight. Did you, yeah, like, did that play in your mind at all, that scene?
actually not, because we had this like script like in 2015,
Oh, really? With the
before,
water. Uh-huh.
yeah, before Moonlight, and yeah, we, of course, we saw Moonlight, but our film was made. It was,
Oh, yeah.
but
'Cause
but but Moonlight is, I mean, maybe this is because of the vulnerability of these two characters that has this similar thing, and also this scene.
right.
But it's like a different kind of scene or something, like
Yeah. Because
with
it's like,
our scene, the character that was gonna do something, it's like has this switch. While in Moonlight, it wasn't like he had bad intentions. at all.
Right.
You know, it was more like he was like giving them life lessons.
Mm-hmm.
While this time our character got life lessons actually from the kids.
Right. Yeah. Because at that point you didn't know what was going on. And again, there was that tension. And then there was that sense of freedom for the kids, you know, especially the one whose mother was so, you know, controlling and wanting him there. And then he's in the ocean and you see them gradually relax, and him especially, like, go with it. And then, but in the back of your mind, you're wondering, like, where is this going to
go
end up, you know? And then when he brings him to the house, you know, you hear him on the phone, you really, you know, have that sort of click that that is going to happen. And so how did you plan building that tension? Like, did you know that you were going to sequentially evolve that with the film, and then taking them in the character of the man changing? How?
Maybe you can elaborate on that.
Yeah, well, the main tension of the story is obviously this thing that this uncertainty as it kind of moves along. For us, when writing this story, we kind of had to decide when we would do the big reveal.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And we kind of felt like, because we wanted to follow the kids, as well as the character of Boga, we knew that the big moment, about halfway through, it would kind of, it would become this moment of revelation, like truth, that felt very important to us, because it's both a moment of truth for us, the audience, but also for the character of the Boga.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like at that point that he decides that actually he doesn't want to do what he was intending to do. That's actually the reason why the call happens in the story,
mm-hmm.
which is why you kind of figure out, and to us it was very important to kind of reveal it through the characters and their motivations and how it changes and how it kind of evolves. And we were discussing it a lot, you know, even before shooting the film.
Yeah, we kind of like saw it like a violin, you know, that it starts like you already hear it, but it's not, you know. So actually it's a thriller, but we only wanted to gradually make it a thriller, but to already start, but we wanted you to feel a certain kind of tension, certain kind of like griminess, already from the start. So even though it's playful, like with the chickens and stuff, it's still kind of violent somehow, you know, without it being really, really violent. And for us, it was very challenging, because we knew the most exciting part will be towards the last half. So it's like, how do you keep your audience, you know, excited and in tone for so long, like, you know, because the film is 20 minutes and like the first 10 minutes actually nothing really happens, but you do feel this tension. So that was like the biggest challenge. So it was like finding the right tempo and the right rhythm, you know. Yeah,
because that's what the pacing was, but like made it seem like so much happened, like the way that you unfolded it. That's what it was almost like it was a feature, because you really went through so many different emotions and transitions with the characters that I'm like, oh my god, that's all in 20 minutes. I like couldn't believe it, you know. And then when it ended like that, I mean, it just shows really the power of that short films can have. You know, you think that they're, I mean, so many limitations, but you were able to do so much within that time. Now, tell me about like the finding the film and him documenting it. What was that? Was that also because now I know that it was somewhat autobiographical? Did you always have a camera or think about film or documenting things?
Unfortunately, no. This was just like a fiction. That was a fictive element, you know. It was this how do you call it, like an object that had a lot of power and ends up in this innocent kid's hands, you know. And it starts off very innocent also, you know. It starts off just camera, and he's just like, through this camera he discovers things, but also himself, you know. And he's loving this, but then that camera becomes a threat, you know.
Right.
And then he, at the end, he decides to kind of like let it be, as if like nothing happened or whatever. And so it was just like finding an object that could help Prince transform like that, because he didn't have like he had a very more difficult transformation, you know, because he was this kid that was always following, and this very shy kid, you know. And then, you know, at the sea, we kind of like figure out why and stuff, and then he opens up, but we needed something to pull him into this adventure after what happened with the mom, you know. And the camera, and also us being filmmakers, and seeing things through the lens of the camera. And also for us, the camera in film is a symbol of like a very curious kid, you know. So that was the symbol of the camera for us.
And when did you get interested in film, both of you? Was that something that both of you went to school for, or like originally, or did you?
Yeah,
we met each other at film school. So, and we started to work like right away. We kind of had like the same passion, but
in university, we actually started filming university. Before that, you know, I studied science. You also studied.
I studied
Greek, so
languages.
Latin. We didn't do films. You know, we weren't like this little geniuses, kids making this little Jaws movies. We kind of, but for me, like subconsciously, I was a bit busy with like what was happening behind the camera, because as a kid, growing up, my grandma used to have a big TV, but like at home we didn't. So every Sunday we'll go there, and other kids will come and then we'll watch TV. And there was we watched a film. I think it's the Terminator. I always say it's the Terminator because that's all I kind of like remember. I don't know, or maybe one of the Jackie Chan's movies. And I remember there was this character that died, and then the next Sunday we saw another film, and it was the same character in there, and I was very confused. And I asked my uncle, like, how is that even possible? My uncle is like, he's the most creative person in our family. You know, he does graphic designs, and then he explained to me like that film, like movies are not real. You know, like they're created, like they're actors and this and that. So watching films, I think I was always kind of like curious on how they made it or something. Subconsciously, maybe I was like that. But I only went to film school my last year in high school. We had to make a decision what to do in university. And there was instead of going on a field trip, there was this it was called art bus. There was this bus that came to school, and you could do like photography, music, film. And I did film, and I made this short film. And the guy that organized it, he did film school, and he was like, yeah, maybe you should go do film school because you have a thing for it. And that's why I went to do film school.
Oh, that's interesting. What about
you?
We
were like always kind of into arts because like I did part-time like during high school, like when I was young, I did like drawing lessons and stuff like that.
I did drawing also. Yeah, I did drawing.
And like you also music and stuff.
Yeah.
So we're always, I guess, kind of into arts. When you know it kind of seeps through in later life, because now we're you know doing this and we'll never become a doctor.
God damn it.
Or a classicist, right? How long did it take to do the film? Like, how long with the kids? I would think it would be time.
Like shooting days? We shot 10 days.
Wow, that's all.
We shot 10 days, but the thing is, like, Ghana is on the equator. So you have like it's from 5 a.m. to like 5 p.m. It's light, and then it's dark. And our film is like exactly 50% light and then 50% dark. You know, and so it was like planning everything to go. So we didn't shoot in order, and because of the daylight that we needed and the night is that we needed, because the kids can't go for forever, you know, but they did their very best, you know. And there was a lot of traffic in Ghana, and we had a lot of locations that I wanted to show, and so sometimes we'll lose like 3 hours, like 4 hours in traffic. So you don't have a lot of time to shoot. So it was like 10 days, but it was maybe not really not really 10 days, you know. But we were there for a month. I went, me, Chingiz, and my DP. I always work with the same DP. We were there for a month. And my dad also came, and the actor also came. But we were there and we did the location hunt. But I lived in Ghana, you know, till I was 10. So I kind of in the neighborhood. So I knew where I kind of wanted to film and what I wanted to show. So we went to that locations and we spotted a few new locations. And then we did the casting, and it went all really quick. Then we did a little bit of repetition, and then the last 10 days we shot. The last 10 days, the rest of the crew came. So the camera assistant and the sound guy came, and then we shot it, you know, with a small crew, my family members, my cousins and nephews helping out. Yeah.
Were the adults actors or professionals, or were they people you knew?
Which adults in the last scenes and stuff?
Or the main guy who takes the
the Bo guy, he's a professional actor from Belgium, and he's also a friend.
Oh, so he came.
I'm the godfather of his son. But he's an actor. He's a professional actor, but he's the only professional actor in the film. All the rest are like family members and stuff. And and the big guy, the really big guy from at the end, he was a family member of the place where we went to rent lights.
Oh, really?
And he was there. This big guy, and I'm like, wow.
And there were twins.
There were twins. There were two of them. Like,
oh, really?
It's two huge guys.
One bigger than the other.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, we were thinking, should we take two? But then we were like, one is enough.
Now, were Prince and Matilda friends at school? Like, did they?
Yeah, they knew each other. You know, the family knew each other. Yeah.
And the last scene with all the kids, is that the school?
That's the school. That's the school with their uniforms. We shot that actually literally 2 hours before our flight.
Wow.
We shot that before we left our flight.
We were planning on doing that scene, but we wrote it in when we went to the school.
Yeah, we wrote it. Yeah, we wrote it in, and we were like, man, we have to do this shot, you know. And planning it out, it came out that we had to shoot it the day that we were gonna leave, you know, in the morning, like really early in the morning, but we were in love. I mean, it was such an important shot that we did it.
Yeah, it was beautiful way to end the film, I thought. And I was wondering how if that was inspired by something. How is your, with everything going on around the world, in terms of you presenting the film, has it been obviously more of a roller coaster than you anticipated, I would think, in terms of festivals and travel?
Very much, you know, we were gonna travel a lot, you know, because it's getting a lot of selections, you know.
Right.
But then it's also good, you know, that we are getting selections, like we are having conversations with you, which is really good. So the film is being seen and is being heard, and we're getting you know, we win here and, you know, sometimes we get a little win here and there, which helps. But yeah, you know, it would have been nice to travel more and maybe try and get the kids somewhere to a festival. But it's going online and it's okay, you know. We are getting, you know, as long as there's like publicity and people are seeing it and they are responding to it, it's okay.
Sounds like you're already working on your next project. What do you?
Yeah.
Short film or?
We are working on a feature, in our first feature. Maybe you can talk about it.
Well, yeah, we've been working on it for a while, actually. We've been working on it for 2.5 years now. And it's a book adaptation. A book by Chingiz, who's a Belgian Nigerian author. And it's a book about human trafficking that we want to shoot in Belgium and also in Italy. Yeah.
Oh.
And we've been developing it for a while now. And we actually were selected for development at the San Spiegel Film Lab, where we won a prize with a pitch and a first version of our screenplay.
Wow.
So we're just now, you know, going further into development.
Yeah, we submitted it to the Sundance Film Lab, so we are now waiting to see. But we are hoping to like finish writing it this year. Maybe like fine tune it next year and then find a way to shoot it. Yeah.
There was a book that was very popular here like this past year called Disappearing Earth. Have you
No.
read it by Julia Phillips? But it's interesting. It has like a lot of the elements of the film where like two girls are playing by themselves on a beach and a car comes up and then takes them. And story, it's based in Russia, like and there's just like a lot of different interweaving things. But I was just curious if you had read that.
What's it called? Disappearing
Earth.
Disappearing Earth.
And the author is, I think, Julia Phillips. She's like 28. Like she was very young, and this film got a lot of. I think it's going to be turned into a movie. Got a lot of publicity. But anyway, it has had some of the features, and I wasn't sure. Like it's after you already made the movie, but I was just curious if you had.
No, we haven't.
It's an American book.
We haven't read it. I mean, it sounds really cool though.
Yeah, when you were talking about the next one also being human trafficking, I would maybe think of that as well. Now,
but maybe we should ship. Maybe we'll
maybe
find out.
We should get it. Maybe we should do that also.
It's definitely good. Well, I just wanted to say thank you and just let you know how much we all really enjoyed the film and really wish you guys the best. I'm sure the next one's going to be even better and longer.
Yeah, we hope longer. Yeah.
Not as I say, I mean, better in its longer form. But this one I thought just was so effective, and 20 minutes was really just hard to believe in the acting and the scenery and just the transition of the different anticipation and tension. Really, just was just great to watch. So I just want to say thank you. Really appreciated it. And thanks for connecting. I know it wasn't easy with all of your.
No, sorry for the.
No problem at all. Well, thanks so much and good luck.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Nice meeting you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Nice meeting you too.